money and time with some things. You could with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704 or jtautoaz.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
What an absolutely unbelievable morning of golf it was in California.
What a putt. What a shot. Wildcats claw their way into the semifinals. They had to really bear down yesterday to get in to the match play, and they did it.
And it's the first time they've made match play at the NCAA championships, and they're moving on to this afternoon.
Unbelievable. The Wildcats, your Arizona men's golf team, is about to embark on a national semifinal match play against who else but the UCLA Bruins. Perfect. You could not have asked for anything better than that. I mean, I don't know if you watched any of that today. It's on the Golf Channel. In fact, we will get the Golf Channel fired up here in the studio because they are about to start with the match play semifinals. But it was a bad day for so match play. First, let's start with match play. You might remember we used to have the professionals do match play here back in the day. But it's a little bit different for college golf in terms of the team concept. You have 5 players playing. You got to win 3 of those 5 matches. Okay? So your best player today, Filip Jakubczyk, did not have a very good day in terms of match play. When you get beat 6-5, now, many of you probably don't know how this all works. You play each hole head-to-head. All right, each hole head-to-head. So, like, if me and Dragon Ball were playing, it would be like 10. It would probably be like 10-9 because I would win every single hole from you, probably, Dragon Ball, right? Because you're not a very good golfer, are you?
Well, I don't golf that often, so I couldn't give you my handicap, but I'm sure it's pretty bad.
It's got nothing to do with that. The handicaps don't. It's just hole for hole. Hole for hole here.
Oh, no, I need a handicap.
Yeah. Okay.
If I want to have a prayer.
You might need it. You might need a handicap. So you play hole for hole, and if I win a hole, I'm 1 up. If I win the next hole, I'm 2 up. And so on and so on and so on. And it ends, like it can end if I get to a point where I'm up more holes than there are holes to play. So if I'm 9 up, so I essentially 10-9, I believe, is the 10-8 would be the last of the what you could, I think, win, because I would be up 10 holes with 8 to play. So that would be 10-8, I think, would be the highest score you could probably have in match play. So he lost 6-5, Filip Jakubczyk. So basically he was down 6 shots or 6 holes. He was down 6 holes to his opponent, with just 5 holes left to play. So that ended after the 13th hole because there was no need to play anymore because Filip Jakubczyk could not catch up. Wildcats then got a win from Tony Zhang. Tony Zhang early won his match. I believe it was 3-2. So they were even after the first 2. And then it starts to get interesting with the other players. It was back and forth. Wildcats got another win. Vanderbilt got a win. So you come down to the final 2 guys, the final match of the day. It was Zach Polo against Wells Williams. I mean, you're playing against a guy named Wells Williams. That sounds like a guy who grew up in the country club lifestyle. I don't know anything about Wells Williams. Not trying to take any shots at Wells Williams, but that is a country club. If that's not a country club name, Wells Williams, I don't know what is. So I was a little bit nervous when I looked up and I saw we're playing a guy named Wells Williams. And these 2 guys just traded dramatic shots. Zach Polo was up for the most part by 1 hole. The early part of the back 9 hits an unbelievable. Head on over to our Twitter account, Wildcats1290. We have a bunch of the video from the Golf Channel up on our page. He hit it had to have been like a 30-foot birdie putt on 15. And he needed to hit that putt because Wells Williams was sitting about 6 feet away from the cup for his birdie putt. So Zach goes out and drains it from 30 feet, and then Wells Williams hits his shorty, and we're still 1 up going to 17. And then on 17, from the fairway, par 4, Wells Williams hits a beauty that takes 2 hops on the green and into the hole for an eagle. So now all of a sudden, Wells Williams goes from being 1 down to 1 up with 1 to play, 1 hole to play. So he's 1 up at this point. You go to 18, you're thinking, we're in trouble. All he's got to do is get a par here, and it's over. And he hits probably the worst tee shot of his life into the water or into the hazard. Whatever, hazard water. I don't know if it actually went into the water, but it crossed over the line into the hazard. He has to take a drop. He ends up getting 7 on the hole. Zach parred it, a par 5, 615 yards. So now we're going to extra holes. So the first extra hole, Zach Polo from about 15, 20 feet out misses the putt. Wells Williams has about a 4-foot putt to win it, and he lipped it out. It literally was one of those where it rolled on the edge of the hole and took a left off. And I think I yelled so loud that Max from Kim FM had to come down the hallway to see what was wrong with me. I yelled so loud when that happened. Life for a second playoff hole. Zach Polo hits a bad tee shot, but it's off in quote the rough, but it's kind of up on a solid dirt part of the rough. So he's got a little bit of a nice lie for shot number 2. And he absolutely, he and Coach Jim Anderson talked over this putt, or over this shot, I should say, for about 6 minutes. I was kind of getting worried. It's like, they got to take this shot sooner or later here. They can't continue just to talk about it. But he and Coach Anderson figured it out, and he hit I mean, one of the most beautiful approaches you're going to see. It hit a little bit behind the hole and came back to within about 6 feet. And he would eventually hit the birdie putt and win on the second playoff hole to send Arizona into their first ever semifinal. I mean, you talk about dramatics today at La Costa. We had dramatics in the morning. I was in my office real nervous watching that match play event. 3-2 Arizona.
So UCLA Arizona is not about to start. It started about 2 hours ago, and currently UCLA is up 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
They're about through 8. So the first guys who teed off are through 8, and currently they're down. 2 up is the first match with Josh Kim's up 2. Tyler Young is up. Actually, one of the U of A guys who is up currently. He's got a 1 up on the 6th hole. Baylor from UCLA, Baylor Larabi, excuse me. That's another country club name. Up, He's up 2 as well on the 5th. And William Weistrand is down 1 hole on the 5th as well. So the last guys to tee off are around the 5th hole. The first guys to tee off looking like they're about the 8th hole right now.
I thought that was when I got that. Apparently I got the wrong time because I thought that I was like, they don't usually take that long of a break in between the quarterfinal and the semifinal. It's usually about an hour. I was like, geez, they're taking almost 2+ hours.
It's same as yesterday. So Golf Channel didn't pick up coverage until they were about 14 holes in. So the Golf Channel doesn't start when they're teeing off. They don't start coverage for this tournament when they tee off.
All right. Well, somebody inside
they
the
got
department.
the Women's Open on. So the Women's U.S. Open has been on all day on the Golf Channel, and now they're preempting that for this.
All right. So the Wildcats right now are trailing 3-2. In this, Tiani Zhang is one of the players up. Filip Jakubczyk, who I mentioned got blown out the first time around, is up in his match. The other semifinal is Auburn and Oklahoma State, and Auburn is currently leading Oklahoma State by a count of 3.5 to 1.5. So it's still very early as the Wildcats are playing the front 9. So we'll keep an eye on this. I would imagine our show is 3 hours, so we should know what is happening here by the time that our show ends. We'll have a pretty good idea of whether or not the Wildcats are going to be going to the national championship match tomorrow. And how about UCLA? UCLA, who was in that group that had to play out. There was 4 teams that played for the final 2 spots in this thing.
How did they do that
yesterday?
By the way? So 4 teams tied. There's 5 golfers per team. Like, how did they figure out the team to
I didn't
advance
bother.
from those 4?
I didn't even bother trying to figure that.
It's like pick your best, pick one champion from your team, and we're gonna
just tell me who's gonna be playing tomorrow.
Everybody gets a stick. We're gonna cut them based on size. We're gonna cut
I'm just
those
thinking,
sticks.
like, logistically, you can't have all 5 golfers from all 4 teams like get out there again. That would just take too long.
No, no.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how they did it. Because I was up at Greyhawk it was 5 years ago. In fact, I posted that on our Twitter account, Wildcats 1290, when the ladies had to play a quarterfinal, had to play extra holes against Stanford. But I'm not sure if I can't remember if all the ladies played or just a couple of the ladies played. I think they may only play like 1 or 2 people for those extra hole situations.
Is that a Bruin in some deep rough?
I don't have it on yet. See, I don't have it. I gotta get it up on our television.
I mean, unless another team's rocking sky blue, I'm assuming that's a Bruin.
All right. Yeah. Well, quite possibly. A Bruin in the rough. We'll take that.
If it's Baylor Larrabee, that'd be a shock because right now he's up 3 up on Zach Polo right now. So
yeah, and by the way, about half an hour ago, Arizona was up 3-2 in this match. So I mean, it can shift pretty quickly, as DK described. If you don't know how match play golf works, every hole is a point. So you can really change the momentum if you win 2-3 holes in a row in each match. That can shift pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens with this. We're hoping to maybe, if it does end before our show is over, we'll possibly have an interview coming out of California with your Arizona Wildcats. So think about this now. You've got, with this run to the Final Four, you have now 2 Arizona men's athletics teams this year that made it to the Final Four. The men's basketball team obviously did so, and now you've got the men's golf team that made it to the Final Four, and your men's tennis team got to the Elite Eight. So that's 3 of your men's teams that went extremely deep into their NCAA tournaments this year. That's going to bode well for the Arizona Wildcats in terms of the Directors' Cup. We'll dive into that a little bit as we go along today as well. The last Directors' Cup standings, we get another drop, I think, a week from today, as a matter of fact. June 9th will be the next drop that we'll get. That'll be after the Women's College World Series wraps up. Obviously, the Wildcats won't be getting any points from that particular team in that respect, but they will get points from some of their other teams, including probably both their golf teams that made the NCAA tournaments, with the ladies in the regional and the guys in the championships. So the Wildcats currently are sitting at 48th, but you got to believe that obviously with this, they could push themselves into the top 35 and potentially, who knows, they could get to the top 30 as well, with having 3 men's teams get Elite Eight or further this year.
And don't forget,
that's huge for Arizona.
8 days from now, we got the NCAA championships as well.
There's track and field.
Yeah,
that'll be the last. So that'll go with the last dump, the final standings, which will be after the
I just meant
College
we're not
World Series
quite done
up
with the athletic calendar quite yet. There's a few more championships to come.
Yeah, 19 athletes from the track and field programs, both men and women, qualified for the NCAA championships, which will be later this month up in Eugene, Oregon. So potentially with some like Mason Lawyer that have a chance to score, which would give the Wildcats some additional points.
10th through the 14th.
Yep, that's coming up just in a little over a week. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in the program. So we'll have our eyes on Arizona golf here as they begin to wrap up the front 9 at Omni La Costa and turn the tables to the back 9 against the UCLA Bruins, trying to advance to the national championship match, which will be tomorrow. Coming up, we're going to chalk some Mercury basketball. The Phoenix Mercury are not having a good season, to say the least.
They had a good start, though, right?
They had a great start on opening night, winning by 30, but they got blown out by 30-plus points at home last night, and it has not been pretty. It has not been pretty. So we'll dive into what's happening with your Mercury. David Veenstra from Desert View Media is going to join us. A lot on the show today. We're going to chat. I mentioned over the weekend, had a chance to get over to Palo Verde Park, and we saw the unveiling of Judith Mama Blair Courts. You'll hear from Joseph and John Blair, the Blair brothers, about the dedication of a basketball complex for youth in this community in honor of their mother. And we're going to talk the Warrior Games. Of course, we've got many folks in the military in our community, those that have suffered injuries during their service, and 2 of those are going to be competing in the upcoming Warrior Games. We're going to talk with Jason Osberg. He is one of those 2 that will represent Tucson in that event, which is also later this month. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions that are reported: Grant and Rosemont and Grant Road, a wreck in Oro Valley, Tangerine and First Avenue and Tangerine. Some slowdowns for traffic on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. Also some busy travel for westbound Speedway approaching I-10. Grant Road east of I-10 closed through the beginning of August. 70 the overnight low, 102 tomorrow, 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Rev up Father's Day gift giving at summitracing.com. You'll find unique gifts, parts, tools, accessories, and more. Or give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Shop summitracing.com, plus enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful affordable tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-749-8188. 800-749-8188. 800-749-8188.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
It's hard to ask for help when no one will even look you in the eyes. My name is Augustine. Last summer, I was homeless and the heat was deadly. I was dehydrated and completely worn out. Everywhere I went, I felt out of place and nobody wanted to help me. Until I met someone from the Gospel Rescue Mission's Operation Rescue. They offered me water, a meal, and then took me to a safe place to sleep. But more than that, they looked at me as a person.
If you want to help or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, it was another bad night for the Phoenix Mercury on Monday at home, blown out by the Minnesota Lynx. The losing streak continues, coming off a season in which the Mercury went to the finals. Let's find out what is going on. Joining us now, David Veenstra, covers all things Phoenix Mercury up in the Valley. Desert Wave Media. David, appreciate you as always taking time to join us. This thing got off to such the great start on opening night with a 30-point win over the champs, but it has quickly dissolved. Give me your synopsis of what has gone wrong through the first 10 games in which the Mercury are now 2-8.
Yeah, Phoenix, kind of like you said, they got off to this great start. They beat the defending champion Aces on their home floor by 33 on ring night. And then after that, the season kind of derailed very quickly. Phoenix has now lost 6 in a row, 7 of the past 8, and they find themselves in last place in the WNBA standings. And Clea Copper is going through a shooting slump that we've never really seen her go through before in her career. She's taking more three-pointers than she has per game than any season in her career at 6.3 per game, but she's shooting just 19% from three, which is a career worst for her. She's never shot below 29% during a season in her career, and that was just her second season. So someone who the Mercury has counted on in the past quite a lot is really struggling at a rate we've never seen her struggle at before.
So let's kind of go back to the beginning of this thing. Obviously, you lose a huge piece in Satu Sabali, signing away to New York. How big a loss was that? I mean, can we simply point to that as being kind of where this all starts? I mean, you lose one of the players that was very key in allowing you to make that run last year.
Yeah, I think that the Satu Sabali loss wasn't as big of a loss, but it was more so that they didn't necessarily replace her with anyone. Last year, I mean, she was taking 13.2 shots per game, so Copper's shot volume has increased quite a bit, and she's been very inefficient this year. But kind of Nicky Rim, the Phoenix Mercury GM, he said before training camp started that things move really quickly in the WNBA, and that's kind of the sentiment he's always had. But it wasn't so much the Sabali loss, but more so not replacing her with anyone else. They didn't sign any WNBA free agents when, nearly 80% of the league was free agents. They kind of went the route that they did last year, and that they brought in a lot of Euro players, and some of those have panned out better than others. They were fortunate to pick up Lexi Held yesterday. Toronto waived her, and she's someone who was very key for them during that finals run last year. She didn't play a ton during the end of the season, but she suffered an unfortunate punctured lung in the road game in New York last year, and that kind of affected her and just her ability. But yeah, it's great that Held's back with the team, and they're in the dire straits right now, Phoenix, and they're going to need all the help they can get.
David Veenstra joining us, covers the Phoenix Mercury up at Desert Wave Media. Obviously, one of the other things you're dealing with a lot of times in the WNBA, David, is the players are still playing overseas. I know we're hoping to get to a point where maybe we can see less of that, where players have to go over and do that. But there are still a lot of players that go over and make that living. Monica Koa-Makani was another one of those. Her team went deep into the postseason, and so she was late getting back to the squad. Where is she now in terms of, obviously she's played, but she has to get back, implemented here. How would you kind of categorize where she is since she got back with the team?
Yeah, she's kind of ramping up. She's played 3 games so far, made her season debut last Wednesday in New York, and then played again Friday in New York and last night. And she struggled quite a bit last night. She was just 1 of 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. I think with Monica Koa-Makani, really a lot of these European players is that kind of like you mentioned, they're coming off long European seasons. Monica Koa-Makani's team just went to the finals. Helena Pueyo's team went to the finals as well. She's someone who could feature for the Mercury later this season, who Wildcat fans are certainly going to be familiar with. But a lot of these European players, you're kind of worrying about fatigue with them just because they're coming off these long European seasons. And, for those that play in both the WNBA and overseas, they really haven't had much of a break at all.
You just threw me a curveball there, David. Helena, I was not aware Helena Pueyo was with the Mercury.
Yeah, so the Mercury acquired her rights last season, and Helena decided to stay overseas in Spain last year, and the Mercury held on to her rights, and she helped take her Spanish team to the finals, and they lost in the finals in Spain. The GM, Nick Urin, he said that Helena is someone that is going to come over this season. We don't really have any indication when that is. Helena was suffering from a foot injury, so she didn't play in the finals. Not like a super serious foot injury, but hopefully she can come over soon because, I mean, as Arizona Wildcats fans know, I mean, she's nicknamed the Cookie Monster, program record in steals at Arizona, someone who's very versatile, someone who can shoot well, can defend. She's exactly what this Mercury team needs. So hopefully she comes over to Phoenix soon and is fully healthy and can help contribute.
So what do you think the timeline for that would be? Are we talking mid-season?
I mean, at this point, I guess the question is it really worth it to Helena? I mean, Phoenix is 2-8, and granted, they've had statistically the second toughest strength of schedule in the first quarter of the season. But it really comes down to if it's worth it to Helena. I don't know if it is worth it to her at this point for her to kind of move her whole life to the States and, you know, be on a team that really might not go anywhere. So I don't know if there's necessarily a timeline, and she might even still be, you know, coming to decision and thinking about kind of what's in it for her.
David Veenstra is our guest. Desert Wave Media covers the Mercury. So David, do you know much about what the monetary benefits of that are? I mean, with coming over here and playing in the WNBA, is that a larger a monetary? I mean, is she making more money here in the United States than she would be making in Spain, or is that just like an additional salary to what she's already making? Is there a vast difference in that? Do you know?
Yeah, it is lucrative to come over and play in the United States now that the WNBA has reached that new collective bargaining agreement. There's players like Avalu Ayayi who, you know, they said that the money factored over their decision to come over this year and play for the Mercury. And there's other players who, you know, Phoenix has scouted overseas in the past, and, you know, ultimately it wasn't worth it to come to Phoenix and, you know, or come to anywhere in the WA and make such little money. But now that players' salaries have gone up quite a bit, it is a lot more worthwhile to the players and stuff. But I think in Helena's situation, you know, she's a lot younger than some of these players. So, I mean, her family's in Spain, so it just kind of, you know, will it really be worth it to her to come to the United States? You know, so, and it's one of those things where the Mercury have their rights, so ultimately, you know, if Helena wants to come over to the United States, like, it'll be for the Phoenix Mercury unless they relinquish those rights. But yeah, I just don't know how worthwhile it is for Helena at this stage.
And I guess the interesting thing when you look at this team, David, is obviously you mentioned they didn't really do much in the free agent market, and they're older. I mean, we kind of had it felt like you kind of moved on from Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, but you know then you bring in Alyssa Thomas, who, I mean, she's 34 years old. You've got Dewana Bonner, who's not young either. I mean that. Where do they sit on the age factor of this team? And I think actually Dewana, I believe, is 38 years old. Do you think this team is too old?
Yeah, I think that health is wealth in all of pro sports. And I mean, by the time we get to August, Dewana will be 39, like you said. And statistically, the Mercury are the oldest team in the WNBA. Just off of their roster. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen this team already suffer, you know, quite a few injuries. Like Sammy Whitcomb went down. She was originally ruled out 4 to 6 weeks. Nate Tibbetts really hasn't given too many updates on how she's progressing with her injury. I mean, Catherine Westbell's out for the season with a knee injury. So we've already seen the Mercury battle adversity in terms of their injuries, but yeah, in terms of just the age of the overall roster, and just kind of the expectation of, you know, the minutes that they're playing, just because they've been a little bit depleted, like, I think that's really going to come back to bite them, like, as we get later on in the season.
Yeah, you mentioned the Cat Westbell injury was also a huge nail early in the coffin for the Phoenix Mercury. David Veenstra also has been doing some extended coverage of the Arizona Wildcats up in the Phoenix market as well. David, you were at the Bear Down Takeover event at the Dirtbags location in Phoenix when Tommy Lloyd made an appearance there. What was your impression of what Tommy had to say about the current state of his roster? Obviously, big news last night. They lost out on the race for Milan Momcilovic. But how's he feeling about the state of the team heading into the summer?
Yeah, Tommy's feeling really good about the state of the team this summer. I mean, obviously, Arizona's lost a lot of big pieces, and Braden and Koa and Jaden and Tove and Anthony Del Orso, but I mean, Tommy's super high on He's super high on Holmes. I mean, both of those guys are pieces that he goes back to sometimes just with USA basketball. I mean, he coached Caleb Holt. He coached Cam Holmes as well. Cam Holmes was someone who ultimately didn't make that under-19 USA basketball team, but Holt was someone that Tommy Lloyd got to know really well in that 2025 FIBA World Cup in Switzerland. Those are two guys that Tommy said are going to make an impact right away, and guys who are going to, get to contribute right away. Holmes is someone who will probably come off the bench, but I think Caleb Holt's someone who is going to start for this team along with Yvonne and Mo, and I think Derek Dixon's going to start at point guard over JJ Maniquet. But really the question mark, kind of like you were saying, comes down to the power forward position. We saw them miss out on Koa P. We saw them miss out on Bryson Tiller, who had the visit scheduled but was ultimately canceled. Last night they struck out on Milan Momcilovic. So really, ultimately, what I think is going to happen is a very similar situation to last season, where we saw the Wildcats announce the signing of Ivan Karchenkov after Carter Bryant departed for the NBA draft. And I mean, Arizona's been overseas. They've been scouting. As John Rothstein likes to say, grab your passport, Tommy Lloyd. So, I think the Wildcats are going to be all right. We don't know who's going to play the 4 on June 2nd, but I think, in this next, couple of weeks when players start arriving back to Tucson, when they start practicing, that's all going to get squared away. And the other thing, too, kind of about the international basketball scene is a lot of these European professional leagues, they just started their postseason, so they have contractual obligations to kind of finish their seasons and stuff. So, I would expect pretty soon to Arizona announce, 1 or 2 power forwards who are international players who can, contribute right away and kind of round out the rest of Tommy Lloyd's roster.
Real quick, David, you were on the road with the Wildcats with us throughout the postseason. What's one thing you learned about the program that maybe you did not know before that?
Yeah, I kind of always covered the program from afar and, would write off of Zoom recordings or YouTube recordings. So really didn't get to know, the people. I knew the players, but really didn't get to know the people. And I think that 2025-26 team, it's really one of the closest teams I've ever covered, if not the closest. Just a great group of individuals. Everyone just is super mature. And you can really see all the work that, Tommy and Jack Murphy have put into recruiting, and just, it's not about, paying people who are going to score the most points, or, it's really about building, a culture or, a players program. And really, I've just been so impressed by everyone within that Arizona basketball organization. Just, first-class individuals through and through.
All right, David Veenstra, he covers the Phoenix Mercury, but you're also starting to see a lot of coverage from him on your Arizona Wildcats as well. Give him a follow on all of his social media platforms. David, appreciate you. We'll talk some more Arizona basketball coming up in the fall.
Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it.
David Veenstra from Desert Wave Media. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Possible collision near Davis Month and Golf Links and Swan. Backups westbound on Golf Links approaching Swan. Also collisions reported Grant and Rosemont, wreck in Oro Valley, Tangerine, and First Avenue. 70 the overnight low, 102 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic.
And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Ozempic, you redid your jingle?
Thanks for noticing. Catchy, right?
No.
Okay, then. Well, ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of me, the Ozempic pen, may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic.
There's only one Ozempic.
I told you it was catchy.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira Joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Tucson is sizzling in June, but your house doesn't have to. Most HVAC companies talk about trust. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing puts it in writing. Every repair backed by a 5-year warranty for our Home Wellness Club members. That's not a promise, that's a guarantee. Call us at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The worst kept secret of the NFL offseason came true yesterday. An A.J. Brown trade on June 1st. The Eagles sent A.J. Brown to the Patriots for a 2028 first-round pick and a fifth-rounder. Moving forward with the Patriots, Brown will work with third-year quarterback Drake May. Stephon Diggs was the Patriots' leading receiver last year. A.J. Brown is a clear upgrade. I'm Chris Black.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are monitoring Arizona's appearance in the semifinal round of match play at the NCAA Men's Golf Championships. It is the U of A versus old-time rival UCLA. Right now, here's what we've got. Match one. Hashimoto down one after 10 holes against Josh Kim from the Bruins. Tyler Laurie and Tioni Zhang even, tied. We used to say all square in match play, but apparently they've walked back from that term internationally because people, I guess, didn't understand it. So tied after 8 holes, Tony Zhang and Tyler Laurie. Baylor Larrabee from UCLA is up 2 on Zach Polo. They have played through 8 so far. Alex Papayano is up 1 on William Wiestrand after 8 holes. Philip Jakubczyk, who just hit a birdie putt to go 2 up in his match on Kyle On. They are after 7 holes. So everybody except for Hashimoto and Josh Kim still on that front 9. And so still plenty of time to go. Wildcats, though, down right now, 3.5 to 1.5 in their semifinal. The other semifinal, Auburn up 3.5 to 1.5 on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State coming into this tournament was one of the favorites. Auburn was the number 1 seed. They won the stroke play side of this thing to earn that number 1 seed, and they have continued to play extremely good golf coming into these quarterfinals today. UCLA upsetting Texas, the 7-2 match, probably the surprise so far of the day there. So we'll keep an eye on that for you if you're watching it and want to get in on the conversation. What you've seen thus far, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number.
Auburn came into the tournament number 1. Bro, you want to hear their overall record this year? 184 wins and 23 losses.
Wow. And that's okay. So that's each individual player.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say they win over
that means
200
you gotta have
matches.
That's a Stanford women's team type of thing. You got to have 3 or 4 super high quality top 25 golfers to do that. Man,
not bad, not bad for sure. All right, we've got the NHL Stanley Cup Finals that are starting tonight. It is the Vegas Golden Knight. It is the Carolina Hurricanes. I believe this series, if I'm not mistaken, Dragon Ball starts in Carolina.
This is going to be out in Carolina.
Yeah, so Carolina has games 1 and 2 tonight and Thursday, and then it'll swing back to the western side of the country for the game 3 on Saturday night. Saturday and Tuesday will be the 2 games coming
regular
up in
season
Vegas.
record, Dragon Ball?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it still?
Yeah, still whoever has the best regular season record will be the one who hosts it. And it's going to be one of those things where I look forward to this one simply because there's a lot of history that could be going for either side in this particular one, for both coaches particularly.
I got a question. At what point do we collectively root against Las Vegas professional sports? Because, come on, it's been like 8 years, and they are dominating right now, guys.
See, the thing is, hockey fans have been doing that since they got to the Cup in their first year. So hockey fans are way ahead of the curve.
I feel that. Yeah. There's no doubt. Like, we've been waiting our turn for so long. Mm-hmm. Y'all just going to jump the line first year.
And it was so funny because the immediate thought that I saw in my the immediate thought I had in my head when I first saw them talking about that being the expansion franchise they were going for with Vegas, I thought,
really? With all the difficulty they've had trying to keep one team in a desert city, and they're going to move another one here? It's like, that seems like a bit much, only for the Vegas Golden Knights to get to this cup in their first year. And I'm thinking, man, I would have loved to at least seen the Coyotes get to a second round at some point when I was watching them as a kid. But nah, that didn't end up happening. And now seeing them now 3 times in 9 seasons of existence, you don't really get to see a lot of franchises that have that level of success coming right out of the gate in any kind of sport.
And how long have the Aces been a thing?
No.
Not long.
Not that
7,
long
8
either.
years. Yeah. They got 3 titles?
Yeah. 3 in the last 4 years. Golden Knights did not even win 40 games this year, as you mentioned. The records, they finished 39, 26, and 17. So they had less wins than the Mammoth, who also made the postseason this year. The Hurricanes, obviously the team left standing on the eastern side of the coin with 53 wins this year.
And that's going to be I mentioned it when we were talking about the standings for the Stanley Cup playoffs before this all started, saying that they're going to have a very long discussion about that quote-unquote loser point that you get when you get the games to overtime. The Golden Knights got a lot of advantage off of that 1 point going into overtimes over a multitude of their games this season. So that's a big reason. And again, the saddest thing is that the Mammoth had the Golden Knights on the ropes a couple of times in that series, only for Vegas to find their way in the final 3 games of that series. So it's interesting seeing what this is going to be. Like I said, both of these coaches got some interesting stories going into this Stanley Cup final. It'll be interesting to see what happens after the first team wins 4 to see what history gets made there.
We'll have to check in with our girl Alex Eshelman up in Las Vegas at some point during this series to get her thoughts on how it's going. You mentioned, obviously, the storylines on the coaches, and this is not even the coach that took this team to that Stanley Cup finals just a few years ago. John Tortorella replacing Bruce Cassidy earlier this season. And it's very common that we see, I think that happened with the Blues when the year that they went to the finals, right? They replaced their coach during that particular season and got to the finals.
You'd be very surprised if you watched hockey as long as I have, how many times you've seen a coach get fired mid-season. You don't typically see a firing that late in the year, but mid-season firings typically happen a lot. And for some reason, there's a lot of situations where that coach that gets hired middle of the year ends up going on a run with a team and wins a Stanley Cup. It was hilarious up until Mike Sullivan for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mike Sullivan was the only Penguins coach in franchise history to start and end a season winning a Stanley Cup. Every other Pittsburgh Penguins coach that won the Cup got hired in the middle of the season after a midseason firing.
They call that a Steve Fisher,
yes,
by the way.
So Bruce Kennedy was fired on March 29th with 8 games remaining in the regular season. 8 games remaining in the regular season. He was let go, and John Tortorella has come in and shepherded this team through those final 8 games and through the playoffs and into the Stanley Cup finals, where some people believe, and we'll get to this later in our betting segment, but a lot of people believe they're the favorite in this series to win. Let's hear from John Tortorella on the situation. He took over very late, having to get buy-in after the sudden firing of Butch Cassidy.
I think the way we coach this staff here, it is more about mindset. X's and O's is that you need to have the foundation of your X's and O's down. This team knows how to play. We change, just subtle little changes here and there, but to me it was the mindset. And when you have a leadership group like we have in our locker room, and some of the experience that we have that have gone through it, I just think it just worked. We worked very quickly through it. And it's them. It's not me or the coaching staff. It's them. We need to guide them a little bit in certain times when we think they're, just getting off the road a little bit. But they handle themselves so well. That room self-sustains. That's why they're in the finals again this year, and that's why they won it in 23 and have been so successful. It's not coaches being in there. It's a room self-sustaining. We've got good people doing that.
Back to Kevin, left side, front row.
All right, so then some of those people that he talked about, the veterans in the locker room, guys like Carter Hart, Let's hear from Carter on how the vets, a lot of vets from that team in 2023 that won the Stanley Cup, still helping to lead in that clubhouse.
That's a really important part of our group is the veteran leadership, the guys there's so many guys on our team that were a part of the team in 2023 and they know how to win and they've been here before. And a lot of guys have leaned on them for advice, and I've leaned on a few guys for advice and just approaching the Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, this is my first time playing in the playoffs with fans, so just some things that I talked to guys about what to expect and whatnot. And I mean, Jack's been a huge key to me, is just for leaning on him for some advice and what to expect in the playoffs and with certain buildings, certain atmospheres and whatnot, and just I think all those guys that have experience and have been here before, for guys that maybe haven't, they've been really crucial.
All right, that's coming up 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock face-off. We got Philip Yakupchik to try to tie the hole with a par, and he comes up a little bit short on that putt. So I believe that's going to lose him one. So
he was
he's
up
now
one
up. Yeah, he was 2 up, so now he's going to be 1 up through 8. Had a chance to half that one. Wildcats still trailing 3.5 to 1.5 right now to the UCLA Bruins. Much more on that. We'll continue to follow what's happening out at Omni La Costa in our second hour. Dragon Ball's here. He's got everything happening in sports as it pertains to Southern Arizona, as well as sports around the world.
Well, be sure to go ahead and open up your calendars and set the date here sometime in September, because the Arizona men's basketball team officially listed out the date for the 2026 Red and Blue Showcase. Will be held on Saturday, September the 26th, with another edition of the Post Move concert that's following those festivities at the McHale Center. Now, again, there hasn't been any updates for headliners for this year's festivities, but it will mark the first time that Cats fans will be able to go and see newcomers such as transfer Derek Dixon and freshman guards Caleb Holt and Cameron Holmes, as well as returning starters Ivan Karchenkov and Mateus Krivas there in
DK,
September.
more basketball news came out today. Arkansas, 4-year home and home.
Yeah.
With your guy.
With your guy.
Sean Calipari.
Well, after a rough weekend out in Seattle, the Diamondbacks managed to open up their return in the desert with a key battle for playoff positioning against the Dodgers. And this time, the Desert Air managed to do wonders for the D-backs at the plate.
Here is Nolan Arenado. He's 0 for 2. He gets on it and drives it to left center. Nolan Arenado gives the Diamondbacks the lead. Well, Bobby went to that slider one too many times, and Arenado crushed it. That's Nolan's 8th of the year. A pair of solo home runs off Emmett Sheehan have given the Diamondbacks the lead.
Again, with those couple of solo shots on the day and a couple more runs, the Diamondbacks managed to open up their series against Los Angeles with a victory to end their 3-game losing streak. They'll be back on the diamond tonight about 6:40. Michael Soroka getting the start against the Dodgers. And it was a massive day of trades in the NFL yesterday that added some major firepower to 2 Super Bowl contending teams. The NFC, the Rams parted way with defensive lineman Jared Verse to bring in former Defensive Player of the Year edge rusher Myles Garrett from the Browns, as Los Angeles aims to keep their Super Bowl window open with Matthew Stafford and company. Meanwhile, the last year's runner-up in the Patriots brought in a key target for quarterback Drake May. They sent a package of draft picks to the Eagles in return for disgruntled wideout A.J. Brown and a reunion for Brown and Pats head coach Mike Vrabel from those two's time at Tennessee with the Titans. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slam it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions that are reported Thornydale and Linda Vista and Thornydale. That was a hit and run. Also, a collision that occurred at Grant and Rosemont and Grant Road. And we'll see the bridge maintenance work, Gulf Links Bridge at Pantano Wash, which is on Gulf Links right between Camino Seco and Pantano. That work wraps up at the end of this month. 70, the overnight low, 102 tomorrow, and 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather. weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya. Hooray! That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Bar, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
Oh, no, I dropped my lip balm in the water. I can't think of anything worse than the looming threat of potentially having chapped lips. It was ginger vanilla, too, my favorite flavor.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Your business isn't a science experiment. So at Cumulus Digital, we don't speculate, we execute with a proven framework delivering results 25% better than industry standards. Go to cumulusdigital.com, fill out our form, and move from guessing to knowing.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show on this Tuesday. This will be probably the only day this week we have a full show. We may have a full show on Friday, but that'll depend on if there is a Game 3 of the Women's College World Series Finals. It'll be a rematch between Texas and Texas Tech. Same two teams were in it last year. The Longhorns won their first ever national title. We'll get the rematch.
Go Raiders.
Texas Tech knocked out Alabama last night.
I mean,
they took down one behemoth from the SEC. Let's see if they can take down the last one.
I don't root for the Yankees. I don't root for the Astros. I don't root for the current LA Dodgers, meaning like that team with the gigantic payroll playing against teams with a third the payroll. And that's Texas Tech athletics these days. If you look at their football team, their softball team, and this is their second College World Series. Texas just won it last year. They're a conference mate, so I have a hard time not rooting for Texas Tech.
Yeah, and not only that, you mentioned if we have a game on Friday, considering what the weekend was like, how many of those, if necessary, games that got played, the streak would suggest that we will.
Yeah, both of the 2-0 teams lost, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you heard Dragon Ball mention in his update the announcement of the Red Blue Showcase post-move concert. I'm not one to complain, but I am. So why are we doing this event on the same day as a football game? Why? Why are we having this event the same day as a football game? Now, the Wildcat football team does not play at home, but there's a game that day. And the game's at 4:30 in the afternoon. So now you got competing events going on at the same time. Why? Why are we doing that?
And that game's at Washington State at 4:30 in the afternoon.
So it ain't going to be over until 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I like to try to go to these events. I can't go to the Red Blue game this year if they're going to have it on the same day. This is the first time I think they've done that. Normally it's the weekend of a home game, a home football game, and they'll do it the night before. They normally do it Friday.
Yep.
And then the football game's on Saturday. I don't know. Maybe the dates didn't work out in terms of volleyball. I'll have to look at the volleyball schedule and see maybe if there were conflicts there. But yeah, that's not ideal.
Well,
that's not ideal.
Arizona volleyball, that would be the only other sport that would be taking up the McHale Center because the games are still being played at McHale, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, or did that change?
Volleyball? Yeah, volleyball. Let's see. Do we have their schedule yet? Volleyball?
Well,
so
based on what I'm seeing here, again, this is only counting the actual schedule.
They're gone that weekend, so there's no volleyball.
Yeah, so the first game that's on the Arizona volleyball schedule isn't until September the 27th.
Now, there'll be more, so they have not completed
they haven't
their
completed the schedule yet, so it still remains to be seen. So unless they know something about the volleyball schedule that we don't, then maybe that's a part of the equation we don't know.
Clearly, they're in conference at that point, so they probably I would imagine that maybe they'll have a game on Friday that weekend, but possibly not as well. That's a little bit late to be starting conference for volleyball, so I don't know if that's the entire volleyball the conference schedule. It looks like it is. So, yeah, again, I don't we'll have to figure out. We'll have to ask some questions about why that is happening in that particular manner. Again, there's a football game that night at Washington that begins at 4:30. Of course, we'll have all-day coverage of football, so that's going to leave very little room for the Red Blue game. If you want to go, obviously you can go to it. The fans will be able to go to it because it'll be at McHale Center. But in terms of covering it, that makes it very difficult for us that are involved with.
Well, last year we did a pregame from the Red Blue. Right, in front
we did our pregame show. I like to take my show from out there. Yeah,
maybe you could do your football pregame from in front of McHale Center.
And
that's possible.
If that's the case, I'll still be here for this season of football. I'll be doing the broadcast with Brian Jeffries, I'm sure. So that way you, DK, J-Dub, and the rest of you can be there at McHale when you guys have to do the stuff for the Red Blue game, if you guys elect to. So if you need to, I will already throw my name in the hat and say I will help out.
After 41 Red Blue games, the only thing I'm really interested in is hearing the crowd acknowledge the returning players.
Yes.
My favorite moment of that first time that all the players gather with the fans in McHale, especially after the first Final Four in however many years, is to hear Tucson thank the returning players and welcome the new players.
Mm-hmm.
Those first introductions are the best. The scrimmage itself, not so much. But the
what, you don't like Rocky Gronkstone like doing his thing out there?
No.
You
No,
like
I do
Rocky
not.
Grindstone?
No, I'm all about it. I mean, it was fun. That's a fun thing. What I'm saying is, I'm a basketball guy, and that's not basketball.
Right.
That's the more WWE.
Not to mention the dunk contests for these scrimmage games and things like that. I always get a little bit, usually get a little concerned.
Yeah, a little skittish that somebody might get hurt,
or somebody might try to do something a little bit too much.
Too much. Exactly.
But no, it's gonna be a fun night. I'm sure it's gonna be probably just a situation of discussing what the scheduling that led to that. Not to mention, we don't have any of the headliners yet. They haven't listed anybody that would be returning here. We don't know.
Maybe,
Diesel,
maybe that's
gotta
the
be
thing.
Diesel.
Yeah, I've heard Diesel.
Yeah.
Maybe Diesel couldn't. That's the only night he could come.
And I'd imagine DJ Tom E will be there as well, I'm sure. But besides that,
He doesn't have anything else planned?
I think he probably would fit his schedule around that. But again, it's just depending on how that schedule all lined up, who all can be brought in. It'll be fun regardless. Hopefully, we'll be able to enjoy it after a win out at the Palouse, because that's going to be the thing that leads into that. But we'll have to wait and see.
We never really talked about this when this was released. I think it was last week or the week before, but we do have the start times for the first 4 U of A football games this year. Opening night against Northern Arizona, which will be Saturday, September the 5th. That's going to be a 6:30 kickoff, so evening, but not real late. I mean, sometimes that game can get into 7:30 range. We will be in that 7:30 range for Northern Illinois, I should say, 2 weeks from that. So you get a 6:30 kickoff against Northern Arizona for the opener.
Man.
Then you're going to go on the road and play a day game at BYU. That should be beautiful. Day football in Provo, Utah. A 12:30 kick national Fox broadcast. So that'll be Arizona will be on display to the country very early in the season. Then you'll come home, Northern Illinois, the Huskies, a night game, 7:30 on September the 19th. And then we mentioned at Washington State the following Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon. The only other game that is set in terms of a time will be the Friday night home game against TCU, which will be an 8:15 affair. That'll be a national ESPN broadcast. All the other games will be in the 12 to 6 to 12 day window.
Man, that's when I know I'm starting to get a little bit on the older side of things, because I hear a 6:30 kickoff. I'm like, oh boy, that's gonna be that's gonna be a late running game, isn't it?
6:30?
6:30
That's early for us.
6:30 is early for us, but
That's
I'm thinking
early
it's like, well, that's gonna go till about at least 8:30, maybe.
At least it doesn't start at 8.
Let's see. Last year was the UCLA basketball game that started at 8,
yes,
followed by the 9 a.m. kickoff. Was it DK or 10 a.m.
like
kickoff?
that.
I think our post ended at 2:30 a.m. and our pregame started at 6:30, 7 a.m. Yeah, something like that. It's like 4 hours.
The season
in between.
opener last year was the first 3 games were 7:30. The first 2 Saturday games were 7:30 and 7. So that's the earliest. That might be one of the earliest Saturday kicks that I've seen in a long time. I mean, very rarely do we get a game that starts at 6:30.
2 years ago, the Arizona football team was not great.
Yep.
Last year, the Arizona football team was very good. So, the time slots for the following season are always, dictated by your season you had prior and what kind of talent you have returning, because they preset those things. Those are baked in to have some kind of marquee. So they wouldn't have put the BYU Arizona game at 12:30 if they didn't expect both those two teams to be competing in the Big 12.
I haven't looked up Oklahoma State's schedule, but I'd imagine the Cowboys are probably not playing a lot of primetime 6:30, 5:30 in the afternoon games this year for the Big 12.
They got to worry more about their students finding their way to the stadium, because they have 83 new players on the roster. How many players are on a roster, DK? 110, 120?
It's less than it used to be. It used to be as many as 120,
But
I think it's closer to 105
new
now.
faces for the Oklahoma State Cowboys this year.
Yeah, that's quite a few. That is quite a few. Quite a few new guys, for sure. All right, I want to tell you about a sweet deal we've got coming up for you this Friday. Reformer Modern Mexican $50 gift card for just $25. That is a sweet deal. 8:30 a.m. WildcatsRadio1290.com. It is soccer time, World Cup. We'll have the U.S. men's national team's game on Saturday. They're up at Soldier Field. I'll talk about the ticket prices for that coming up a little bit later. since we've been talking about World Cup ticket prices. It is soccer time. Reformer Modern Mexican Mezcal and Tequila is your international soccer tournament headquarters. They'll have the first, they're going to, June 11th will be Mexico's first game. So they'll have that, Mexico versus South Africa. Don't forget, we're a very big El Tricolor city here as well. So we cheer for both Team Mexico and the United States. So they'll have that game on June 11th. Happy hour 7 days a week. Half price tequilas all day on Thursday. Reformer will boast Arizona's largest selection of mezcal and tequila, along with a creative list of margaritas, cocktails, and great live music in the open-air courtyard. It's located in the southeast corner of River and Campbell, the beautiful St. Philip's Plaza. So, again, that's a sweet deal coming up on Friday, 8:30 a.m., Wildcats Radio 1290.com, a $50 gift certificate for $25. Cricket joins us now. Cricket, what type of, do you love margaritas? Are you a margarita girl?
Good.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Do
you like
margarita? A margarita? I mean, what do you mean? Oh, you mean like strawberry or like frozen?
Strawberry,
yes.
Cadillac. Do you have a favorite vodka? All of it.
I like them all.
I like, yes. What kind of margarita? Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
I like them all.
You're like my mother. She just likes her margarita.
Question for you. Do you prefer to have the bartender do the shaking? Do you like getting the little shaken little things that they sometimes get out to the tables where you can shake your own margarita?
I've never had that. I have never had that. So I've just had them make it for me.
Okay. I've had a couple of occasions where I worked at, I believe it was at Chili's, where we had it where we would put the mix in the shaker and we would give it out and it would allow the people to kind of shake their own drink. The amount of times I was asked, can we bring this home? I would say no.
Yeah.
They would always ask to take the shaker home.
Oh, they wanted to keep that.
And I had to.
Tumbler,
Yeah, I always would have to go around the tables and make sure, okay, they have one, make sure they don't leave with it.
Don't take our
I got
shaker.
like 20 at my house if you want one.
You have 20 shakers?
Tumbler. Yeah, tumbler.
Tumbler. They call them tumblers?
You put a pint glass into it and shake things up. Sure.
Oh, wow. I don't have that. I have two.
They're very inexpensive. They're not very expensive.
Like you have 20 and I have 2.
Well, I did bartend for 10 years. How many years did you bartend?
None.
Did you? So
that would be 0.
Are you saying you took home office supplies?
No. They're not expensive. Like they're
I'm
very
kidding.
cheap. They're swag from a bar. Are you kidding me? When you're a bar manager,
Fireball
they
or whatever.
throw stuff at you to
Please
take home.
take
Are you
this.
kidding me? That's how beer reps work. They want you to take
They
all
want
that
you to
stuff
take it
home.
all,
Yeah, it's
Do
free advertising.
you have a Sailor Jerry tumbler?
I'd have to look.
Because I'd buy that.
Sailor Jerry.
I'd buy that from you. Just saying. He was one of the original tattoo artists, but he also
here
made
in town?
rum.
I'll look into
No, like in Hawaii.
Oh,
wow, he was
okay.
like tatting the World War II soldiers.
Yeah. So was his tequila was
Was rum.
It was
He
rum.
later
Is
made
popular
rum.
here?
He's known for tattooing, but he also makes a nice, tasty rum, I guess.
Sailor Jerry. I've not heard of Sailor Jerry. Interesting.
I'm wheeling and dealing. I
Okay.
hear tumblers, and I think, oh.
Can we get a quote from the great minds of Hawaii at some point?
Oh, from Sailor Jerry?
Yeah. Did he ever say anything?
Yes, he did.
Poetic?
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get one from him.
I
at
might
some
remember
point.
it. I could probably fairly easy quote him, but
Because Cricket's got quotes every day at 4:20 here, or 4:12, I should say, on Wildcats 1290. Where's her music, Jade? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Bro, you have to slowly pot it up.
It's
What are you
gotta-
doing here? Come on, you're slowly.
Swelling.
Slowly.
I'm gonna hold my fingers.
I'm the
like
expert
this.
over here.
yes, indeed. That's why you're in charge over there.
Who invented this? Who invented
Gregorian
the whole,
monks,
the
I
whole
would say.
fingers
Something
thing?
like that. Sailor Jerry. Just kidding.
Sailor Jerry. All right, what we got today, Cricket?
When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new.
Dragon Ball? The Dalai Lama?
Yep.
Dalai Lama.
Yes.
The Dalai Lama. Was he an actual real person? Or was that just
I think so. I mean, they make it seem like it. They just made it up. Like, is Mother Teresa real? I don't know.
Is Sigmund Freud a real person?
Was that a real person?
Did Einstein actually exist, or was that just
Now,
like
he did
fiction?
exist. Yeah, Einstein did exist.
He thought
his
some things up.
haircut should not have.
Well, that's okay. That was genius at work.
How long ago was the Dalai Lama? How long ago was that?
Ooh.
I want to say the Dalai Lama was still very prevalent, like early 2000s.
Probably fair.
Wow. So he's not still alive, is he? He's not, is he?
Okay, so the way this works is there's reincarnation, guys, and there's many Dalai Lamas. So they pick somebody who they call like the Barman Lama, who takes the place of the person in waiting, who then becomes the Dalai Lama in time. Yeah.
There's always a king.
But right now, the Dalai Lama is missing.
Oh boy.
That's a whole other thing, and I'm not trying to get in trouble with anybody from the other side of the world.
Missing?
Yeah, go read about it.
Okay.
Okay, I learned something today. Thank you for that, Dub.
The Dalai Lama is missing. One more time, Cricket.
Oh, hang on. I folded it up.
She folded it.
When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new.
All right. The Dalai Lama. Somebody please find him.
Please.
Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Thornydale and Orange Grove and Thornydale reported collision. Roadwork on Park Avenue, 22nd Street to 36th Street continues. Southbound lanes of Park Avenue closed between 22nd and 36th. You could use 4th Avenue instead. Of course, you could use Keno Parkway, but just keep in mind there is roadwork at Ajo and Keno. 70, the overnight low, 102 tomorrow and 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Arizona drivers know June is the calm before the furnace. Temperatures are rising and the intense summer heat is on its way. It's as certain as the next cracked asphalt road or suspension slaying pothole, just around the corner and coming quickly. But Arizona drivers know that Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the one stop to make sure their car, SUV, light truck, or minivan is road trip ready for this summer's torture test for tires, batteries, brakes, and cooling systems. Just about every part under maximum stress. But mention this ad during June and get Jack Furrier's road trip ready inspection at no charge with the purchase of any oil change. A $30 value for free that gives you the inspection information you need to lower your stress before heading into another summer of extreme Arizona driving. And if you already know you need tires or service, come by to the local's choice for the most affordable tires and rock solid guarantees at 14 award-winning locations. Make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health. Nobody covers your cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slide it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290.
In this market, you're either a follower or a leader. While followers settle for the average, Cumulus Digital gives leaders the edge, beating industry averages by 25%. Go to cumulusdigital.com, fill out the form, and take the lead.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're going to chat with Jason Osberg coming up in our 5 o'clock hour. Jason will be competing in the Warrior Games. It used to be known as the Wounded Warrior Games. Now it's known simply as the Warrior Games. It has come under the control of the Department of Defense, and it'll be down in San Antonio this year. Jason spent 22 years serving our country in the Air Force. Grew up here in Southern Arizona, went to Marana High School, and he's the guy that diffuses bombs out there for our country. So we'll chat with him about that, about his life in the military, and about competing in the Warrior Games. This will be the second year that he has competed in the Warrior Games.
You've seen Hurt Locker, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see that. I have not seen Hurt Locker.
I must have seen that movie 10 times. I think it's the most accurate depiction of especially these last 25 years of conflict in the Middle East that America's been involved in. Really, that's a really real movie. Yeah, really real.
Yeah, I would not want to be. I would not want to be in that very heavily padded suit doing that job in that heat with that amount of stress.
More or less, DK, it's about the stresses involved in being bomb disposal on the front lines of a conflict. Yeah.
So we will chat with Jason and get just kind of get an idea of what it is that he does and to serve our country and why he has gotten involved in competing in the Warrior Games. That'll be coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. Okay, over the weekend, I had an opportunity to get out to a great event Saturday over at Palo Verde Park. It was the debut and the unveiling of the Judith Mama Blair Courts. Many of you knew Judith Blair in this community. She was the mother of Arizona Wildcat forward Joseph Blair, class of 1996. She was an athlete herself and performed, I believe, in a lot of the adult Olympics events throughout her lifetime. And just a lady that was always around. She was at everything. Huge supporter of Arizona women's basketball, huge supporter of Arizona men's basketball. You would often see when Judith out, we kind of joked last week about how the whole entire athletics department comes out when one of their teams leaves to go to a postseason contest. Judith was one of those people that was always there when the teams would come back, and a lot of times she would be maybe one of the only few people that would be outside McHale Center when teams would return from competitions. She passed away a few years ago due to some medical issues, and her son Joseph, who we've had on the show many of times, was played professionally overseas, then came back here and was started his coaching career on staff as a volunteer under the Sean Miller regime, and then got a chance to get into professional basketball coaching in the G League and back in the D League when it was the D League, and worked his way up onto several NBA benches, and has even performed as a head coach in the interim in the NBA as well with the Washington Wizards. So Joseph has done a number of things in terms of his basketball coaching career, but this was one thing he wanted to get done, and that was to get a court here. He said that after Corey Williams unveiled his court, he said he wanted to do the same and have a court in honor of his mother, and that took place this past weekend over at Palo Verde Park over on the east side. Huge crowd came out, great crowd for Saturday morning to see these beautiful courts. And the one thing that's really cool about it, we'll hear from Joseph and then we'll talk a bit about it, is that they've got all 3 3-point lines on this court out at Palo Verde Park. They've got the high school 3-point line, they've got the college 3-point line, and they've got the NBA 3-point line. How cool is that? I'm not sure you'll find another court here in the city that's got all 3, at least a public court that's got all 3 of the 3-point lines. Had a chance to catch up with Joseph Blair after the unveiling. Let's hear a little bit about what he had to say about this honor for his mother. So, Joseph, what does it mean? What does it mean to realize this dream?
Oh man, I think just not only for me but my family as well, just to literally cement, I guess, my mother's legacy. But I think it lives beyond this. But to be able to have something tangible that stands for her and what she stands for, her love of this game of basketball first and foremost, but even more so her love for people in the community, this community, to be able to give something back to the community that really recognizes her and just who she is. And I'm honored. I'm out without words. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have the perfect words to describe all these feelings I'm feeling inside right now, and maybe it'll hit me at some other point down the line, but right now I'm just overwhelmed with emotion and the support of the community. But be able to give this to the community means so much to my family and I.
There's so many guys that come play basketball here, but leave and go back to wherever they came from. But you and guys like Corey Williams stayed and became a part of this community. If your mom had not come here when you were playing and stayed, do you think you'd have still been a part of this community?
Of course, I'm going to be positive and say yes. Are you kidding me? But I do think that, I think that when my first days on campus, even the way in which the community embraced me is something I'll never take for granted. I think there's a warmth of the city of Tucson more than what people understand, but also it's something that to be in Tucson means to be this type of person. And I always said this, I have my son raised in Tucson, just being a part of the community. I always wanted this to be the best community it could be for my children, for my family, for my friends, for the people I love. And this is what we're trying to do. And it did such a good job of doing that for me when I got here.
How about the design? Who put together the design of the court here?
We worked together to kind of put it together. I will say I'm super excited about couple things in particular. This is the only in the city of Tucson, or in the county actually, NBA regulation length courts, 2 of them side by side. They have the high school 3-point line, the college 3-point line, and the NBA 3-point line, even the NBA lane line as well, which no other court in the city has that. So I think that this is going to do a really good job of exhausting the kids running this full length and give you a better perspective of what it's like playing in the NBA. But I'm really excited about the design. I love it. The fact that it's shaded too, that can be utilized during the day. We have lights here for nighttime as well. So, and that there's some schools in the area you'll be using it as well. I'm just so honored that we're a part of this project.
Do you anticipate any events annually that you'll have here, tournaments, kids tournaments, or anything like that?
We were just talking about that now, so I'm eager anticipation, we'll say. I'm optimistic that we're definitely going to have something out here. I'm looking forward to organizing it. I'm going to get with some other people later and see what we can do, but I would definitely be on the lookout for it.
The court's alive. What do you think this means to the youth of Tucson?
Well, if it means anything to them, what it would mean to me and my youth, it means a lot to have some place that you can come play. Not only that, but really, I say it again, like the beautiful thing about this court in particular is its dimensions. It is a true standard NBA regulation length. And I know when I was young, you try to imagine the goal, what it's like to play in the arena. Well, this helps a little bit more because at least you know how far these guys run all the time and how far that three-point line is and all those different things. So I think it's going to be a draw for the city, quite frankly, if people want to come and play on this court.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful court, beautiful blue colors on it. It's got a kind of a script J on it as well, signifying his mother, Judith Blair. Just beautiful. Full court, 2 full court length courts, and I would imagine they're gonna. And it's got that covering over it, so they can obviously utilize it in the summertime. It's not directly out in the heat, so it's going to be a fun place for youngsters on the east side.
I was one of those kids, by the way. So I must have taken 50,000 3-pointers before I graduated high school, and we poured a slab in the backyard. But the concrete slab couldn't have been more than 8 or 10 feet on either side of the baseline side of the rim. Now I could hit a 3 from the end of the slab shooting at the rim. But whenever I wanted to shoot a 3, it was like fifth rock past the slab or next to the one cactus or whatever. We had to kind of guesstimate as to where the 3-point line was on the baselines because we didn't have a court large enough to simulate that. So looking at Mr. Blair's court and seeing those 3-point lines, DK, and the extra space they've got out there in a spacious, true dimensions of an NBA court, I'm sure the kids growing up in Tucson are going to love playing on that court with the shade. It looks great.
We'll let you, if you head on over to our YouTube channel, Wildcats Radio 1290, we've got the full-length comments that Joseph Blair had on Saturday, just kind of talking about the whole process. Councilman Paul Cunningham was there. The Tucson Conquistadors were very instrumental in helping get this done, so as well as Tucson Parks and Recreation. So a lot of folks to thank for helping to get that project done. Out on the east side, and to have Judith Blair's name on it, there's nothing better than that. I got a chance to know Judith Blair during my time here. In fact, she called me just a few nights before she passed away. So somebody that was always in contact, and I'll never forget the first time I really got to know her. And I told the story on Saturday. I was like, you better make sure that you never called her son Joe Blair, because she was going to be the first one to correct you and let you know, no, my son's name is not Joe, it's Joseph. She was adamant about that. And I remember the first couple times that I was that I maybe did a story or was talking about him, and I said Joe Blair, and she made sure she pulled me inside, said, no, my son's name is Joseph. Make sure you address him as Joseph. She was very, very adamant about that.
I was heavily involved. I played with all those guys, Jarvis, and we called him JB. Everybody on that team that was around when I was around those guys, they all called him JB.
Yeah.
But never Joe. Never heard anybody call him Joe, but I heard JB a lot.
There you go. We got Filip Jakubczyk putting for a birdie, and he makes it, so he is now 2 up. Phillip's staying up. We got to get some other folks up in this match now for Arizona. Right now it's tied. Tashimoto and Josh Kim are tied after 14 holes, so they're playing 15, 16, 17, and 18 tied. Arizona, though, down 1 on Tony Zhang's match. They are 2 down on Zach Poto's match, and they are 1 down on William Wiestrand's match, all playing the back 9.
That's
right now.
The good news. Tied, 1 up, 2 up, 1 up, 2 up, right? It's
So
not
close.
like there's no 6 ups
Right.
we're seeing on the
close.
scoreboard right
It's
now.
close in all of those matches as we are on the back 9 trying to see if Arizona can get to a national championship match. 520-848-1290. If you're watching, you want to chime in on what you're seeing, please give us a call. We've got Diamondbacks Down Low coming up straight ahead. We've got our Westwood One top plays and a whole lot more. Again, Jason Osberg is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour to talk about his participation in the Warrior games. Cricket is always here every 20 minutes on the 5s, getting you home with traffic and weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collision, Thornydale and Orange Grove and Thornydale, and that big widening project on Grant east of Country Club to Swan continues. Could use Pima instead at Grant and Alvernon. Travel at the intersection down to one lane each direction. No left turns permitted. Grant and Alvernon. 70 the overnight low, 102 tomorrow, and 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Farm Safe 811.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really love golf. Full Send Golf, 2v2. Me and VOD versus Big John and Kyle. Oh, it feels good to be back on the links with the boys.
Join the party on the golf course.
Back to golf in a big way. Now what? Practice? Let's go hit the range.
I was like, let's go to the range.
We are headed to the golf course. Yo, you want to golf with us? No. You don't play golf? No. Try. We got to break par. I'm very excited. You excited? Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Your business isn't a science experiment. And at Cumulus Digital, we never treat it like one. You shouldn't have to pay an agency to test theories on your dime. At Cumulus Digital, we don't speculate, we execute. Our proven framework delivers results 25% better than industry standards. Visit cumulusdigital.com, fill out our form, and move from guessing to knowing.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
We all knew it was going to happen, and it finally did.
Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown has been traded to the New England Patriots for a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. Brown will be reunited with head coach Mike Vrabel, who he played for in Tennessee, and now he will have MVP runner-up Drake May as his QB. We'll have to wait and see if things are sunnier in New England. I'm Adam Abdallah.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
On the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Diamondbacks got their homestand off to a very nice start last night against the champion Dodgers.
El envío del zurdo. Conecta fuerte batazo sólido hacia jardín izquierdo. La bola va para atrás, para atrás, para atrás, para la calle que es el Marte de 2 carreras. Es el 10º de la campaña para el niño de Nizao y pone 4-1 el marcador ganando Arizona.
Diamondbacks Download. Baseball talk.
Ketel Marte home runs sound just as great in Spanish as they do in English.
Better, I think.
This
Better.
was a pretty good pitchers duel that we had last night in the series opener. You had Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers, Eduardo Rodriguez, who has been the Diamondbacks' best starter all season long, dueling it out for 6 innings. 1-0 game going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Eduardo Rodriguez had given up an RBI ground out to Freddie Freeman in the 3rd, but that was it. 1-0 game. And how about the rookie, Tommy Troy out of Stanford at the plate?
That's a good problem to have, as we always say. Tommy Troy has tied it up with his first big league home run.
Tommy Troy gets his first home run in the major leagues to tie the game at 1-1.
If Willie Wells is a country club name, what's a Tommy Troy? What's that? What's that? Where's he hanging out as a kid?
I don't know. I always thought that was a cool name, Tommy Troy.
It's like a diner.
It was weird for a guy named
lot,
Tommy
like the
Troy
dirt lot behind a diner. That's where he and his boys are, playing some dirt lot baseball for sure.
Got some leather jackets on.
I just thought it was weird that Tommy Troy did not go to USC, but he went to Stanford instead. Very interesting. So there you go. It's at that point, it was a 1-1 game. Let's hear some of what Eduardo Rodriguez did to the Dodgers last night.
Called strike 3. He'll challenge again. Batter's challenging the strike ball. That one might have got the corner. Hey, we got him. Called strike 3. He knew it. Drops the changeup for a strike. Eduardo Rodriguez has set down 12 of the last 13 he's faced.
1 earned run on 5 hits in 6 innings. He struck out 96 pitches, and they turned it over to the bullpen in a 1-1 game. 7th inning, it would be the guy that's on my fantasy team, Nolan Arenado, at the plate against Emmett Sheehan.
He gets on it and drives it to left center. Nolan Arenado gives the Diamondbacks the lead.
At that point, Diamondbacks on top. And then we go to the 7th inning. How about Ketel Marte with a man on. I'm sorry, the 8th inning, Ketel Marte with a man on. Tommy Troy had gotten on in front of the Diamondback slugger.
Boy, after the sweep at Seattle, you know he wants this one. Bad. Tommy takes off. Marte with a liner to left field. There it goes. .112 off the bat, and they've opened up a 4-1 lead.
Wait, Ketel Marte just staying hot for your Snakes. Paul Sewald staying hot in that closer role would finish things out in the 9th inning. 4-1 the final. Diamondbacks get the victory, and a very nice way to start that homestand. Home runs by Tommy Troy, Nolan Arenado, and Ketel Marte. Torey Lovello, we'll hear from him shortly, but let's hear first from Tommy Troy on home run number 1 in the big league.
As far as the approach, just sticking on number 1 on the fastball, and that's what we planned pregame. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, like as far as being in the 9-hole, like I just want to flip the order around. There's 2 outs. I want to get on base for Ketel Marte while he's hot, and getting this win I feel like is really important just for set us up for the rest of the week. Some good confidence boost here.
Yeah, it was a 2-out, 45-foot bunt single by Tommy Troy ahead of that 2-run shot by Ketel Marte that helped break the game open. The skipper afterward just liking the way things went down in a game that his team, look, you know, there's granted it's a long season, you got 162 games to play, but there's nights when you really need to get a win, and coming off 3 straight losses in Seattle against the best team in baseball, last night was one of those nights, and the Diamondbacks were able to get it done.
I couldn't be more proud of this group. You know, we were grinding through some early innings, maybe a little bit of a hangover from the trip up to Seattle. Sheehan had some really good stuff, but we kept hanging in there. We kept fighting. Clearly, the Tommy Troy home run got us energized and even the score. And then Arenado, who continues to just impress me with so many of the things that he's doing to help this team win, and he does it with a lot of hard work behind the scenes. So he gets a go-ahead home run. And then, you know, the thing that stood out to me about the Marte home run was how Tommy Troy had some situational awareness. Works extremely hard with Jeff Bannister and the bunting group, and gets on and hands it off to Marte, who hits a big 2-run home run. That's high baseball IQ. I've got to really make some comments about Erod, who goes out there and just spins up 6 really, really impressive innings. We made some nice defensive plays behind him, but he's pounding the zone. He set his tone with his fastball and then went to work and started pitching from there. Good 2-seam fastball. You know, I think there's a lot of quality left-handed batters on that ball club. So at times, if you can get a lefty to do the things that Erod did, they can slow him down a little bit. But overall, this day was set up by Erod and finished by some really heady, smart baseball plays.
And maybe that's why Tommy Troy went to Stanford and not Southern California, because he's got high baseball IQ. High baseball IQ. You would expect that from a Cardinal.
If you had a choice for a degree from one of those 2 schools,
that's being provided for you.
If you're driven to get your college degree and you're offered the option to go to the farm or go to USC, I don't think that's... I mean, especially if you're an athlete, because we all know what that athletics department is all about. But as good a school as Southern California, USC is, DK, I mean, Stanford is what? One of the 10 best schools in America. So,
yep,
smart choice.
There you go. Michael Soroka gets the ball tonight for your Snakes. 6:40 will be first pitch. Eric Lauer, a lefty on the bump for the Dodgers. Dodgers 38-22. Diamondbacks now 32-27. So there's still 5.5 games. They were 4.5 going into Seattle. Lost a few games, but got one back last night.
Yeah, I mean, wins against the Padres and the Dodgers these last 3 or 4 seasons are extra special because those 2 teams have just been at the top of that division forever. So we can get head-to-head one-on-one wins, deny them put a loss in their column, get a win in yours. It's double effective.
All right, before we get to the top of the hour and we're going to have face-off in the NHL, let's get you your Westwood One top play for tonight.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, helping you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Taking a look, game 1 tonight of the Pro Hockey Finals, Carolina -150 over Las Vegas +125. The total in the game is sitting at 5.5. I think this series is a legitimate coin flip, and if that's the case, I want to lean into plus money. Give me Vegas to win the series and Vegas to win game 1 +125. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, we were able to get Vegas at +130 to win tonight. That your $12.90 bet there would get you $16.77 back, +120 to win this series at $15.48 on a return there. So everybody's, like I said, everybody's going with Vegas.
Question, Dragon Ball.
How that works out.
I'm looking at a picture, a promotional picture for the Stanley Cup Finals, and I don't see a single beard. Like, what's going on? What's the deal?
It's weird that they do this every single season. They get the pictures from like the earliest part of the year because those are the faces people will recognize. They don't get them.
Not me, man. I want to see
Stanley
like the
Cup.
grisliest Adams-looking dudes you could possibly imagine. It's that time of year.
Yeah, there are guys that have the beards going, and there are certain guys that are too young to really get a beard happening right now, like Carter Hart for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's got a decent one, but it's not very grizzly. But those are not the faces that hockey wants to promote because those are not the faces that fans saw at the beginning of the season. I don't know why, but they just don't ever show the playoff beard.
If I would lean into it,
Yes,
I would lean into it. Everybody knows about hockey beards. Just embrace it.
Embrace it.
Taishi Moto with a huge putt from the fringe for Arizona on 15 to stay just one down with Josh Kim. We are monitoring match play semifinals right now for your Arizona men's golf team. Wildcats right now are down 4-1. None of these have been completed. They're down 4-1 in action. Right now, you've got Tashimoto down, 1 down. You've got Tony's Young, 2 down. Zach Polo, 2 down. William Vistron, 1 down. And Filip Jakubczyk, 1 up so far. Everybody is on the back 9 right now. The Tashimoto, I believe, was the first out, so they're about to go play 16. So still a lot of holes to play.
Yeah, 16, 14, 12, 12, and 11 currently are where those guys are all at.
There you go. All right, we'll have much more on that coming up in our last hour right now, Dragon. And I'll get to this as well in our last hour. I got a tennis play for you tomorrow. I've not ever bet on tennis, but we got a tennis play for you for the French Open tomorrow. Dragon Ball's got everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
Well, another major win for the Arizona men's basketball team on the scheduling side of things. The Wildcats will now have at least the 3-game series set up against the Arkansas Razorbacks here starting this season. First game will be on December the 19th up in Phoenix for a neutral site contest. The first game for the home-and-home series will follow, and that will be out in Arkansas for the 27-28 season before the Razorbacks make their way back down here to McHale Center for the 28-29 campaign. There is an option, though, for a 4th game the following year after that. That will be another neutral site game, but closer to Arkansas, should the two schools agree to that 4th meeting. And the Arizona Cardinals continue their organized team activities with a lot of questions surrounding the quarterback position, but just as much attention being given to the wide receiver room in this year's team, as Marvin Harrison Jr. and company hope to have a bounce-back season after a lot of struggling with drop balls as well as injuries. But new head coach Mike LaFleur seemed pretty confident that not only is Harrison improving this camp, but the others in the receiving room are as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like all these guys, first of all, it starts with us as coaches, putting him in those positions to go be successful, to use his traits at the level that he's capable of. What he can do is a little bit different than Mike, and what Mike can do is a little bit different than Trey and Kendrick Bourne and Jeremiah and all the guys that we have surrounding there, So again, I'm not as crazy as it sounds, but I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm not totally concerned about what Marv looks like in September. I'm concerned about what Marv looks like right now, and did he improve from yesterday? And I would say, yeah. I mean, not that everyone's going to see the tape from today. Thought he made a stride today. It's awesome. Like I thought a lot of guys did. And there are other guys that might have had a better day yesterday. Now let's go improve and see how we can correct those mistakes. So again, just focused on the day-to-day with him and keeping him and all these guys just where their feet are in the present, not worrying about, come September and all those other games after.
And again, they will go ahead and have mandatory mini camp for the Cardinals starting up next week on June 8th. Meanwhile, the Stanley Cup Finals begin tonight. Puck drops here at 5 o'clock. Hurricanes play host the Golden Knights here for both clubs, both trying to get to their reach their second Stanley Cup victory in each franchise's history. For Vegas, this marks their third appearance in 9 seasons since their expansion team appeared. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes are back in the Stanley Cup for the first time since they won it back in the 2005-2006 season, where head coach Rod Brindamore performed very admirably for the Hurricanes that season, helping win the Cup as a player back then. He can join Toe Blake and Frank Busher and Jack Adams as the only men to have won the Stanley Cup as both a player and coach for the same franchise. His counterpart, Mike Tortorella, has a chance to go ahead and get Vegas not only its next Stanley Cup, but win his Stanley Cup for the first time in 22 seasons, which would be the longest gap between head coaching wins in the Stanley Cup in hockey history. The current record sits at 13 years apart. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Gawaka takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collision at Thornydale and Orange Grove and Thornydale. Also some slowdowns for both directions on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. Speedway Boulevard traffic east of I-10 busy. A lot of those slowdowns due to Grant Road being closed east of I-10. 70 the overnight low, 102 tomorrow and a 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215215. That's SPARK to 215215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
For 250 years, America has been a bold experiment in freedom. Generation after generation, Americans have carried that freedom forward, running farther, climbing higher, standing stronger. From stadiums to neighborhood blacktops, from hometown fields to the world stage, the spirit stays the same. This year, America turns 250, and the next chapter of freedom is yours to write. All Americans can get involved in the celebration. Learn how at freedom250.org. That's freedom250.org.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
It's hard to ask for help when no one will even look you in the eyes. My name is Augustine. Last summer, I was homeless and the heat was deadly. I was dehydrated and completely worn out. Everywhere I went, I felt out of place and nobody wanted to help me. Until I met someone from the Gospel Rescue Missions, Operation Rescue. They offered me water, a meal, and then took me to a safe place to sleep. But more than that, they looked at me as a person.
If you want to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
NCAA golf men's semifinals. Things not looking good right now for your Arizona Wildcats. They're trailing 4-1. None of the matches are complete, but Arizona is down in 4 matches, and they are down 2 holes or more in 3 of those 4 matches. Tione Zhang is down 3 with 4 to play. Zach Polo is down 2 with 5 to play. William Wistron is down 2 with 6 to play. And Filip Jakubczyk is the only Wildcat that is currently up. He is up 1 after 12. Winner of this match between Arizona and UCLA goes to the National Championship tomorrow in Carlsbad at the Omni La Costa. Arizona in the semifinals for the first time. Second Arizona men's team this season, this year, this calendar year, athletic year, to get to a national semifinal, joining the men's basketball team that also got there. So we will keep you up to date on all of that right there. I do also want to give you, I've not given you your question of the day today. We've been talking a lot about the upcoming World Cup. We've got a sweet deal for you as well over at Reforma on Friday at 8:30 in the morning. Reforma is going to be your place to watch World Cup soccer this year. The United States men's national team, they played this past weekend against Senegal. They'll play this weekend against Germany. That'll be up in Chicago. We've been following the ticket prices. So if you wanted to go, actually the game in Chicago is not that unfriendly in terms of the ticket prices. You can right now on StubHub, you can get tickets to the game Saturday for right around $250. Much less than the $1,000 it is going to cost you to see this team actually play in the event, the World Cup, because I've not seen anything in any of the United States games under like $1,100 a ticket. That's not for like 2 tickets. That's for like 1 ticket. I've not seen anything under $1,100 for 1 ticket to get you in to see the U.S. men's national team in the World Cup. So that's our question of the day. And it's actually going to be a question of the week, because I'm going to leave this up for you for about a week. And that is, and when I asked it the other day, how much would you pay to see the United States men's national team play in the World Cup? How much would you pay? So I gave you 4 choices. Less than $300. Would you pay less than $300? You can go see them, not in the World Cup, but you can go see them this weekend in Chicago for less than $300. Would you pay $300 to $600 to see the United States play in the World Cup? Would you pay $600 to $1,000 to see the United States men's national team play in the World Cup? Or would you pay over $1,000 to see Team USA? Head on over right now to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. You can vote in our poll right now. We just put this up. We have 1 vote so far, and that person said they would pay less than $300 to see the United States play in the World Cup. That person will not be, unless you know somebody we don't that'll give you that ticket. You might be buying. You won't be buying on a service for that. That'll probably be a one-on-one deal for somebody who got tickets. I'd like to know, and I don't have any idea. I'd like to know, and if you've got a ticket to the World Cup, I'd like to know what the face value is. I'm not even sure. I've not even seen what the face value for tickets were to this event.
When FIFA gave it to Jersey, it was $50. So they did it with no markup, and that was, I think, 100 tickets for $5,000. I think it was. So yes, $50 for each.
So $50.
Yeah.
So the ticket. So $50 is face value.
That was what the FIFA gave
now
them with no middleman, no handler's fee, no ticket office upcharge, no third party reseller. I need to put my kid through college, charge. All those other things. Yeah, I mean, come on, it can't be too much. Now the finals is different, but the preliminary qualifier stuff, yeah.
Okay, interesting. So head on over right now to Twitter. You got a week on this one. I'll give you an entire week. You can vote on that one.
I know who I'm rooting for.
Yeah?
Morocco. America.
Morocco.
And when America gets kicked out, it's going to be Morocco. Because
is America kicked out before Morocco?
Well, Morocco's the 7th best team in the world, and America's like the 50th. So, yes. But Africa, by far, soccer's by far the most popular sport in Africa. No African nation has ever won the World Cup.
No,
and I think there's
none.
10 teams this year. 10 teams have qualified this year. So
it's
that would be a great story.
the one thing that you look for every World Cup that I can think of for the past 5 that I've really paid attention to is what is the deepest that an African nation gets into the World Cup. And it's usually not that far just because it's so heavily dominated by the European nations
Spain,
recently.
Germany, France, Brazil, Argentina. It's like the same names over and over and over again. That's all.
All right. I just from my old roommate in college, I want Cameroon to be.
Cameroon's actually, they were really good, I think, last round.
Yeah,
last
one, yeah.
All right, let's talk the Warrior games coming up this month in San Antonio, Texas. We've got 2 Tucsonans that are going to be competing in the Warrior games. Jason Osberg is one of those. 22 years in the Air Force. He served his country right out of Southern Arizona, went to Marana High School, played a number of sports at Marana High School, and now competing in the Warrior games. He joins us now. Jason, appreciate you taking some time to join us on the show. Let's kind of go back for you. You joined the military not too long after graduating from Marana High School. What led you to a life in the service?
Really, so I'm the oldest of 5 brothers, and though I did not join right after high school, I waited a couple years. I actually went to Yavapai College for 1 year up in Prescott. But my younger brother graduated basic training, and I went to the graduation and was like, hey, this is something that seems like I would like to do, and the rest is really history after that.
So
kind of a weird story, but.
Where did you serve?
So where have I served? So right after basic training, so I am an explosive ordnance disposal technician, which is basically the military version of the bomb squad. So my training after basic training was about a year long in Destin, Florida, not a bad spot. And then I was stationed at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri for a few years, met my wife there. Then I actually was stationed at Davis-Monthan for 6 years from 09 to 15, which was kind of cool. Get to go back home. Did a lot of tailgating, football games. Diehard Wildcat fan. So it was really cool to come back. Then I went to Guam for a few years. Then I went to Panama City in Florida, the Panhandle, for a few years. And then now I'm at Lackland Air Force Base, back where it all began, where basic training is for the Air Force in San Antonio.
Now, I understand you also did some work with the Secret Service?
I do. So part of our job is supporting the Secret Service. They don't have their own bomb techs, so they use the military guys. And basically anywhere president, vice president, family, anybody that I guess requires Secret Service support, we go and search before they go. So kind of a cool gig. Been all over the world with that. I mean, you name it, I've been there. It's really nice when we get to go to cool sporting events, behind the scenes type of stuff. So, that is a really cool gig that we get to do.
Jason Osberg is our guest. He is out of Marana High School. He is going to be competing in the Warrior Games coming up in San Antonio this year. This will be the second time that Jason has been a part of that event. We'll get to that part of the story, but obviously Jason served for 22 years in the United States Air Force. You mentioned that you're the guy that goes in and dismantles bombs. Is that a good way to put it? I mean, I've watched I've watched a number of cop shows and that kind of thing, and you see these guys diffusing bombs. Is it really like that?
I mean, for the most part, kind of, yeah. I will say the color of wire doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. That's one of those things. You ever seen the movie Hurt Locker?
I have not.
So that's kind of close to what it is about EOD techs overseas, like in Iraq. It is a movie, I will say that. A lot of guys in the career field don't like the movie, but because it doesn't really portray exactly what we do, but it's a good kind of overview. But yeah, we just diffuse bombs. Like that's what we do. So
you mentioned that the cumulative physical and psychological demands of EOD operations was eventually what led you to seek support in the Air Force's Wounded Warrior program. Describe how mentally and physically challenging that work is.
So physically it's challenging. For one, I mean, you're operating in not great environments. So like Iraq and Afghanistan in the summer and the winter is brutal. You're wearing a bunch of gear, helmet, vest, all that stuff. Plus, if you're in the bomb suit, that weighs about 85 pounds total. And not really much air movement in that thing. So, physically, it's super demanding. We're always supporting other services, if you will. So always out with the Army. I've supported other countries overseas. So you're out with them doing whatever they do. And then mentally, just trying to stay in the game, I guess, is the hardest part because you're always trying to think 2 steps ahead of the bad guys. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're always trying to figure out what's going on, why it's going on. We're basically like super problem solvers. So when you're down, I guess disarming a bomb, it's a different mental game that you have to play because so our motto in EOD is initial success or total failure. So it's kind of a little bit more pressure on you when you're down there doing stuff. Now we train and all that stuff. So I'm not just going down there willy-nilly trying to do something crazy. But sometimes it happens where you're put in situations where you got to think quick on your feet. And the toll of all that, you don't really realize it when it's going on. It's when you come back home is when it kind of all sets in and really kind of gets you sometimes, just because you don't really have time to think about it when you're in it.
So what did you get out of when you entered into the Wounded Warrior program? What were some of the things that program offered that were beneficial to you?
One of the things is just being able to relate with others going through kind of the same stuff. Just because my, I guess, time frame in the military is there's not really many of us left that have done the Iraq and Afghanistan that are still active duty. There are, but it's not like it was back then. So a lot of the young guys and stuff, they don't really, not that they don't understand, but you just don't have that, I guess, bond with them. So that's kind of where the Wounded Warrior came into play, with meeting people that aren't necessarily going through the same thing. So like they could have gotten diagnosed with cancer or MS or been in a major car accident where they lost a limb. They're not going through exactly the same thing, but they're dealing with the same sort of issues in different ways, which makes it, I guess, you just have people to talk to. You're kind of on the same footing, if that makes any sense. I always describe it as kind of like I-10. Everybody's driving one direction, but everybody's in a different lane, going a different speed. So it's just nice to have people that kind of are, I don't want to say we're struggling, but other people just going through difficulties that you can kind of lean on. I have made some, amazing friends in the past 2.5 years that I've been in the program. So I would tell you the biggest thing is just the connection. It is awesome.
Master Sergeant Jason Osberger out of Marana High School is our guest. 22 years he has served in the Air Force since 2003. He's going to be competing in the Warrior Games coming up in San Antonio later this month. We're going to continue with Jason straight ahead, but first we got to make sure you are getting home safely, as we always do. Cricket is here every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Backups on eastbound I-10 near Ajo Kino. Those slowdowns on eastbound I-10 between 6th Avenue and the Ajo Kino connection. 22nd Street closed, Tucson Boulevard to Cherry Belstra Avenue. You could use Broadway or Aviation instead. 70 the overnight low, 102 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by CSL Plasma. Donate plasma at CSL Plasma and earn up to $200 your first week. Help save lives while earning extra money for what matters most. Visit CSLPlasma.com. Again, that's CSLPlasma.com.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slam it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Arizona drivers know June is the calm before the furnace. Temperatures are rising and the intense summer heat is on its way. It's as certain as the next cracked asphalt road or suspension slaying pothole, just around the corner and coming quickly. But Arizona drivers know that Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the one stop to make sure their car, SUV, light truck, or minivan is road trip ready for this summer's torture test for tires, batteries, brakes, and cooling systems. Just about every part under maximum stress. but mention this ad during June and get Jack Freer's road trip ready inspection at no charge with the purchase of any oil change. A $30 value for free that gives you the inspection information you need to lower your stress before heading into another summer of extreme Arizona driving. And if you already know you need tires or service, come by to the Locals Choice for the most affordable tires and rock-solid guarantees at 14 award-winning locations. Make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Freer Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
The target, 422 Maple Drive. No tripped alarms, no broken windows. While you were sleeping, they made off with $50,000 in equity, and they didn't even use a getaway car.
Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Don't let termites turn your equity into sawdust. We stop the heist before the damage is done. Call 520-201-2000 for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, termites.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever had a tough trip to the West Coast. First, they lost a close one to the Golden State Valkyries, which snapped Indiana's 3-game winning streak. Then on Saturday, they were defeated by the Portland Fire, 100-84. Clark was limited to just 6 points, and the Fever went 5 of 22 from beyond the arc. As of yesterday, head coach Stephanie White's squad still leads the league in points per game, but they rank in the bottom half of three-point percentage.
It's finding your teammate, your open teammate on time. And then other times we're getting good looks and we're just not knocking them down. You know, I think that's something that's going to come. But I'd like to see us early in the game, try to get to the rim, get some opportunities in the paint at the free throw line. And then when the defense collapses, then we can get those uncontested looks.
The Indiana Fever now have a 4-4 record on the season, and they will try to get back on track Thursday when they host the Atlanta Dream. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Jody Jackson on Westwood.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Jason Osberg is our guest. He is a 22-year veteran of the United States Air Force from right here in Southern Arizona, Marana High School. Now, Jason, you mentioned you've been in the Wounded Warrior program for 2 years. When you got into this, obviously it was for the benefits of what it could offer you. Did you realize when you got in it, though, that you were going to compete in the games, or was that something that came afterward?
That was something that kind of came after. So, dealing with I guess all the past stuff, I was in not a great place mentally for a while. And then when I got into the program, I mentioned I played sports. I mean, I played sports growing up in Tucson, literally my whole life. That was my life. I competed until I joined the military. I played any sport I could. So when I got into the program, I went to an event and they had like an intro to the sports, the adaptive sports. And I instantly fell in love. I was able to, that just compete again was like the driving factor. And then being able to have fun. And then when they were like, hey, you should come to trials. So 2 years ago, they're like, you come to trials and try to make the team. And I had no intention of, I had no idea what to expect. And then I did really well, made the team. Which was awesome. Went to Warrior Games last year. It was in Colorado Springs, and actually did very well. Won, I think, 7 total medals. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. So when it came around this year, I was all in this year again.
This year's games are going to take place in San Antonio, Texas, June 13th through the 20th. The Warrior Games, it's under the Department of Defense now. Used to be the Wounded Warrior Games. It was renamed as the DoD Warrior Games, and it brings together competitors from all over the United States, representing all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces: Army, Marine Corps, Navy Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force, and Special Operations Command. There'll be 200 athletes that'll be involved with this. Jason, you are going to be, you mentioned you won 7 medals last year. You're in 7 sports this year. So are these the same 7 sports, and did you win medals in all 7 last year?
So last year I was only in 6. This year I added wheelchair rugby to the mix. So last year I did win medals in everything but field. There's some big guys out there that can throw those heavy things really far. So, but in swimming, I 2 golds, a silver, and a bronze. We won bronze in basketball, volleyball. I took gold in shooting, and then rowing. I was, I 5th or 6th in that one. So. Pretty cool experience. Yeah, it was awesome.
Now you're going to be in wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, sitting volleyball, pistol, swimming, shot put, discus, and rowing. Now explain like the pistol shooting. What exactly do you have to do in that particular event?
So pistol, it is exactly like the Olympics. Same 10 meters, so roughly 33 feet ish. And it's pellets, so it's air pellet. And the target is, golly, like if you take your thumbnail, that's kind of where you got to be hitting to be good. But the target itself is probably 3 inches in diameter. And you're shooting pellets, iron sights only. That's a fun one. I do like that one. It's competitive and it's nerve-wracking all at the same time.
I was just about to ask you, what's your favorite of the events?
Favorite individual is swimming, just because I grew up swimming in Tucson. I swam until I was probably 12, 13. And when I got to high school, Miranda didn't have a swim team back then. So I kind of stopped. So it was really cool to get back into it competitively. So I would say swimming individually, but really team sports is, you can't beat it. I mean, just being out there with a group of dudes, getting after it. Yeah, there's nothing like it. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm sure other people that play competitive sports, even just like intramural sports, I mean, it's awesome.
You said when you were quoted in the release saying these games have reignited my drive and my recovery, strengthened my connection with other fellow recovering service members, and reinforced that even after the darkest moments, growth is still possible. What are some, when you all get in that room and you talk about your experiences, what are some of the things you hear as somebody that's also been through that experience?
Yeah, I guess for me, a lot of stuff was Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, I saw and did some things that no human should probably, you know, ever have to go through or deal with or experience. But that's part of the gig, you know. I didn't join the military to not be a part of the mission, if you will, and that was the mission at the time. And then, you know, I lost some really good friends that I still deal with kind of today that, you know, I feel like sometimes I could have done a little bit more and they'd still be here. So that's kind of tough to deal with, right? But to share that perspective with others, because like I said, I'm not, a lot of them in the program, like we haven't technically been in a war like that for a while. So for them to hear that perspective kind of helps them understand, you know, my, I guess, journey, if you will. And then a lot of it is all of us just coming together and just growing. A lot of us have been isolated from each other. Just like I said earlier, in some dark times where you don't know, you know, if you're going to be around. I tell people a lot of times, I do want to give a shout out to my wife because without her, I would probably be a statistic that you guys read about, you know, veteran suicide stuff. But, you know, it's those times that kind of make you stronger when you come out the other end and realize you're not the only one going through it. Because I think a lot of us feel like at the time, like it's just us, you know, but then being able to get together with other people that are kind of going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing just gives you another outlook on life that, you know, there is always something to live for, I guess, in a way. And sports is probably, in my opinion, one of the best ways to kind of make all that happen. Even if, I mean, you see it in professional sports, college sports, even our sports, like when you're competing, but right when that whistle blows and the game's over, you know, we're all buddies again. But I think that drive on the court is something that can't be beat.
Southern Arizona native Jason Osberg is our guest. Went to Marana High School, class of 2001. He'll be competing in the Warrior Games for the second time. He spent 22 years in the United States Air Force. It's interesting just, you know, talking to you, Jason. You always think Air Force flyers, but there's so many other jobs that don't involve, you know, getting inside of a plane with the United States Air Force. When you come across young people who want to get into the military and they ask you your opinion, what do you tell them?
I'm always, I guess what I tell them is if you want to join the military, join it because you want to, not because someone else wants you to. You know, that's probably the biggest reason. And then also the military can teach you a skill. They can get you you can get to school, you can pay for school. They you know, they got a lot of benefits, right? But also you got to remember you're joining the military. So there's probably some things you got to do that you don't want to do. You got to be ready for some long days. I know everybody likes the hurry up and wait thing. And that's true, but a young person joining the military, just do it for you and it'll all work out in the end. Because if you don't join it because you want to join the military, probably not going to work out. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I just say just make sure you're doing it for yourself.
How often do you get back to Southern Arizona?
I was actually just back for Christmas. We tried to, so wife, kids, we try to split time. So usually at least once every other year, if not more. My dad, 3 brothers still live there. So, and my mom, sorry, forgot about her. I don't know why, but shout out to all of them if they're listening. I know they're big Wildcat fans as well.
There you go. Jason Osberg out of Marana High School, Warrior Games, the DoD Warrior Games. It's coming up June 13th through the 20th in San Antonio, Texas. Second time around, 7 medals last year for Jason. He'll be competing in wheelchair basketball, rugby, and sitting volleyball. Pistol, won a gold medal there last year. Swimming, shot put, going to go up against those big guys and try to steal their goals this year.
Yeah.
Discus and rowing. Jason, we definitely, obviously, thank you immensely for your service to our country and wish you continued success in all that you're doing, and best of luck in this coming Warriors games.
Awesome. I appreciate it, and thank you guys for all you do as well. We appreciate it.
Jason Osberg out of Marana High School. Awesome to get a chance to catch up with him. All right, for one more segment to go, we'll update you on what's going on with the Arizona Wildcats in the semifinals of the NCAA men's golf tournament that is coming down to the final stages. See if the Wildcats can potentially pull it out. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With some slowdowns on the eastbound side of I-10 and near Park Avenue. Also, we got some slowdowns eastbound Aviation Parkway at Country Club. Some busy travel at Ajo and Keno with road work there, and some slowing on Benson Highway at Campbell. 70, the overnight low, 102 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay. eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for or the foul ball you heroically gave away. It's all there on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-749-8188. 800-749-8188. 800-749-8188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring
recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The LA Rams were already going all in this season to win a Super Bowl in what could be the last couple of years of MVP quarterback Matthew Stafford's career. The Rams now have the leaders in passing yards and touchdowns, the leader in receptions in Puka Nacua, the leader in receiving touchdowns in Devontae Adams, and last year's leader in sacks in Myles Garrett. The Rams went from 8-1 to 6-1 to win the Super Bowl after the trade. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
There's nothing better than a walk-off in baseball. Let's hear two right now. How about those red-hot Mariners?
Winning run at third base and Randy. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on, broken bat, looper left field. It's a base hit. Randy scores. The Mariners have done it again. The magic dust has been sprinkled here at T-Mobile Park. They've walked it off in extra innings for the third time. They've won 7 in a row. It's all Mariners.
Yeah, 2 of those times are against the Diamondbacks over the weekend. There's not a lot of folks over 500 in that American League West, but the Mariners are one of them, and they have the lead, having won 7 straight, 2.5 games over Texas in the AL West. Now, college baseball, very interesting over the weekend. A lot of upsets. UCLA got bounced. They were the number 1 seed, just the 5th time the number 1 team in the country has not gotten out of a regional. This might have been one of the best endings to a regional, as another home team went down in Georgia Tech.
Kentucky work his way aboard here. The payoff. High fly ball, center field. Burris back. Warning track. Whoa! It's gone! He talked them off! He talked them off! Dayton Taki has sent the Sooners to Kansas! Oklahoma is super! Straightaway center field. Dayton Taki talked them off! Oklahoma wins the Atlanta Regional! The boys from Norman have shocked college baseball.
Dayton Taki talked them off, the announcer said right there. Oklahoma's going on to play Kansas, the team that won the Big 12 Conference. How about the fact that you're going to have a super regional? Troy and Little Rock are going to be playing in a super regional. So you're going to have at least one team there that's never been to the College World Series. Cal Poly gets to a super regional. They won. They ended up winning that UCLA regional over St. Mary's. They're going to face West Virginia, so you still got some Big 12 teams left. St. John's is in. They knocked off Florida State.
Johnny's play baseball?
Huh?
Johnny's play baseball?
Johnny's play baseball. Southern California went down to Texas A&M and beat the Aggies. I love when the Aggies lose anything, especially to my alma mater. There you go. They're going to go down and try to do what Arizona did last year and win down at Chapel Hill. So some teams, unexpected teams, getting through to the next round.
In the era of transfer portal and NIL, this concept of Cinderellas making deep runs in postseasons in any NCAA sport is going to go the way of the dodo. So, we need to celebrate, guys, whenever this does happen, Dragon Ball, because, how much chalk was in the NCAA men's basketball tournament? In baseball's a little different. You get one pitcher, one really hot pitcher, one really hot bat, you can really do some damage. But I love, DK, hearing some of those names that you mentioned and first ever appearance in College World Series, because that era is that window is closing.
Yeah. And again, baseball is probably the one sport in NCAA where we're going to see those long tournaments that culminate in a national champion still have those Cinderella stories. As much as Arizona fans don't want to remember Coastal Carolina, but that is still the kind of sport that allows for
they were legit though. That was legit.
That was a
program.
That was a legit program, and that is the kind of thing where small colleges like that, in comparison to your Oklahomas, your USCs,
and back in those days, you got the right class. If you got the right freshman class that became juniors and seniors, and then led them like that coastal teams did. But now those teams may have a lot of transfers once they get sophomores and juniors. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's update you on what's happening with the men's golf. Arizona men's golf playing in the national semifinals, match play against UCLA. UCLA has taken 2 matches. Tashimoto was in match 1. He lost by 1 hole. Then Tioni Jiang, Tony, lost 3-2. Still on the course, though, and it's gotten a little bit interesting, although William Vistron had gotten back to within 1 hole, but he has now gone down 2 holes with 2 to play, so he's in some trouble there, and that would be the last one that the Bruins would need. It was 1 up just a few minutes ago, but Alex Papiano was able to win the most recent hole with a birdie on 16. That was a par on 16 as William bogeyed that hole. So Filip Jakubczyk right now is the only Wildcat that is up. He's 2 up through 14 holes. And so the Wildcats still in a little bit. It looked like they were trying to crawl back in it, but now they're back kind of underneath it again as they try to advance to the national championship match. We'll keep you updated on that as we go. Before, I wanted to get real quick into this, so I got one bet for you. I've never bet tennis before, but at the Westwood One Top Play, how about this? There's the thing called Total Games. Total Games in tennis. So you bet the player that's going to win the most games. That player might not even win the match, just the most games. So tomorrow we've got Matteo Berrettini minus 4.5 over Matteo Arnaldi.
You're looking for somebody that has a not great first serve and is great at return game. That's what you're looking for in that stat.
I have no idea. All we know is that we need Matteo Berrettini to win 5 more games in his match with Matteo Arnaldi. So, if he wins 6-2, 6-3, that would be 4 plus 3. That would be 7. So that would be that's kind of how that needs to work. But he could lose big in a match, but still win more games. So it's a very interesting. I'd never even heard about this until today in terms of betting tennis. So that's what we got. We got Matteo Berrettini minus 4.5 games over Matteo Arnaldi, which means he needs to win 5 more games in the total match than Matteo Arnaldi tomorrow. We'll check in tomorrow and see how that all played out. All right, let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, Knicks and Spurs game 1 coming up tomorrow. Mike Brown is the head coach of the New York Knicks. They've got a major injury that everybody wants to know about. Mitchell Robinson has a little bit of a pinky situation going on. Let's hear from Mike Brown on what the status of that is.
I don't know what he'll be listed on the injury report. He did individual stuff yesterday, and I'm about to talk to our medical people to see what he can do today.
Don Harris, WAI San Antonio. How much of your defensive philosophy...
Former coach of the Dogs.
I was going to ask you, how much of your defensive philosophy was formed when you were here in San Antonio? Not from Coach Pop, but from your incredible 6-man flag football, first grade Dogs defense that you designed.
So we were awesome. Literally, he was offensive coordinator, I was a defensive coordinator, and we actually dominated that league. We had to cheer all our parents. You know, after every game and before every game, we get our parents in with the kids, and our cheer would be, "Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo." So that's for all you older, they're adults now, right? Yeah, they are adults. For all you older dogs back in the day that were 6 and 7 that are now like 30. A lot came from there. But my players won't do that cheer, though, for some reason. My current players. Yep.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Yeah, his players are not doing the "Who Let the Dogs Out" cheer.
I just great because he's there with the Knicks and because he was with the Spurs for years, and a guy who he worked with the Spurs, they coached a first grade flag football team, and just a great interaction there with Coach Brown.
That is funny.
It sounds like he's talking to me. He's like, "Oh, all you kids are like 6 when that song came out. Now you're in your 30s. Oh, thanks, Coach.
No,
Appreciate
he was talking about the kids that he coached when he was there, which were in first grade and are now in their 30s. Yeah, so that would have been probably the same exact age group as you, my friend.
Stanley Cup Finals Game 1, 3 goals in the first period seems to be the norm in these games. Unfortunately, not all 3 goals have gone to one team in Game 1 tonight. The Hurricanes have 2. The Golden Knights have 1. So Carolina off to a good start there in the Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, real quick, Wildcat Golf down 2-0, losing in one other match. Down 2 is William Wistron with 2 to play. Zach Polo is now tied, but you would need to flip that one and the William Wistron to go along with Filip Jakubczyk. Never say never.
Come
but
on,
the
William. You got
Wildcats
3 holes, William.
are
Let's do
in a
it.
bad spot right now to try to advance. That's going to wrap up our show. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll tell you all about it. Maybe have an interview about it. We'll talk some Arizona track tomorrow as well. Thanks to everybody that joined us on the show today. Jason Osberg, David Veenstra from Desert Wave Media, Joseph Blair as well. For Cricket, for J-Dub, for Dragon Ball. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening, everybody. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collision reported Swan and Pima and Swan. Closures along Glen for roadwork, westbound Glen west of Alvernon closed. Glen westbound near Country Club closed, and also roadwork on Country Club at Glen and more roadwork on Country Club south of Grant. And that is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's Luxe Boxes. Choose the $5, $7, or $9 box. Now with the shredded beef dipping taco. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezes and specialty drinks not included. Tax extra.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Ucla takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good. No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health. Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
The day shuts down. The games light up.
Banking that ass left and right.
This is BetMGM Tonight with Pat Boyle.
I am owed a
championship, and some freaking dog is not going to deny me.
On Westwood One Sports.
That is phenomenal. Hey, welcome on back. BetMGM tonight, Westwood One Sports. We better do to Brad Evans, and that means we got 2 solo hours starting right now as we take you to 11 p.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday. I'm Pat Boyle, and we are brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly. That was a tremendously produced open there by producer Brandon Combs. That was turned around just within the last hour there with me saying, I don't give a damn about the air corgi, however you pronounce that breed of dog, who apparently is, I've seen the video. I'm sure you've all seen the video. The owner throws a basketball to the dog. They got 2 waste baskets, one with one logo of a team, the other with another logo, and the dog bounces it off its nose. And I'm supposed to believe that that's the fate that's going to control the NBA Finals or the playoffs. On the eve of the game 1 of the NBA Finals, the Knicks haven't been in a Finals in 27 years. I'm 31, and I don't even remember the last time they were in it in 99. They haven't won a championship since 73, and I'm supposed to believe a dog is going to dictate who wins the Finals. Get lost. Get lost. But we're with you every Monday through Friday, 6 to 11 p.m. Eastern. And starting at 9 p.m. Eastern every day, you got me solo for 2 hours. You can watch the show live on YouTube. Just search BetMGM Tonight and hit that subscribe button. You can watch the show live on Twitter at BetMGM Tonight. And you can listen to the program on the Westwood One Sports app, the Odyssey app, SiriusXM Channel 375, and hundreds of local affiliates throughout North America. Our talk and text line, 310-840-4910. Running theme throughout tonight's show, it's prediction night. So the eve of the finals, who wins the NBA Finals? In how many games? Who's your NBA Finals MVP? Any other predictions you have about Knicks and Spurs? I want to hear from you. You can call 310-840-4910. You can also text 310-840-4910. If you text, just let us know what your name is and where are you from. So we've talked a lot about the Knicks and the Spurs series tonight. I got some more thoughts on it, just some final thoughts. As I'm as ready as I could be as a fan, as a sports fan, and as somebody that does a sports talk show for a living.